Hello, it's Snako here with another figure review. Today we have got the DC Direct Stroke Collectables Batman Arkham Origins Deadshot, baby. Now, what can we say about this figure? I actually got this figure second hand off of a fellow reviewer called Toy Review TV, and I watched his review on the figure before I got it, and he sold it on eBay, and I was the guy that won it at a really cheap price. My only gripe is I think he was a bit harsh when he was reviewing it because, well, loose legs! Joy. That's pretty much my only gripe about this figure so far. Now, I don't know if that's a common occurrence with Deadshots, but this guy's legs, his hip joints are very, very loose. Just his hip joints, so everything else is really nice and very tight. So, that's my gripe. Moving on to the actual figure itself, I really do like this figure. I think it's got a great sculpt to it. Like with a lot of figures, I would definitely would have preferred a different elbow and bicep joint, but you know, it's what we got, and it's there. It's just limited, which is very unfortunate, because I'll go over it in the articulation, but these joints, elbow joints, are pretty much my only real gripe. Maybe if you had a bit more of a diaphragm joint as well, but I think fundamentally the sculpt on this thing, as per usual, is really, really nice. Looks really cool and is a very, very, very cool figure. Now, this is the second incarnation of Deadshot, because Deadshot actually appeared as a side mission in Batman Arkham City, where he was wearing a Arkham City convict outfit with just basically an eye patch and some guns. This guy, they've gone for a bit more of the classic look, but also incorporated the fact that it is winter, so he is wearing a winter outfit. Like, he's got snow boots on and looks like a winter jacket on. Now, I don't know if this is actually meant to be his general look throughout the universe, but it does work really well in this game, and is a very good look for him. Let's go over his details. Now, the head sculpt is really, really nice. You've got the one eye here, which is just exposing through his ski mask, and then the other is, as you can see, his gadget, his like classic eye. He's got headphones on, which I think is very cool, so he could like communicate or definitely use that for his advantage. The head sculpt itself is quite simple. It's just a simple hockey mask, and then he's got a collar which is quite raised, which can hinder, but it's not too bad, to be honest. It is very hard plastic, but it doesn't seem to get in the way. Then we've got some bullets attached on his right shoulder. And he also has this massive pouch on his right leg, which is a soft rubber piece, so it's loose and it doesn't really get in the way of articulation. But it's got some nice paint details on it. His orange zips there, and the orange throughout is a really nice tone. It's a kind of a dirty orange, and it does look very, very cool. And then his guns, they look, to be honest, these kind of maybe a bit blah for me. I kind of wish they might have been a bit better, but it's cool that they're on there. They're both identical. Very cool. I like his gloves as well. Nice knuckle dusted fists. And he's got kneecaps on. Again, very, very cool. And I said earlier, these winter boots. Quite chunky. Very cool. The whole figure is very, very cool. Really is a nice looking figure. And you can get into pretty decent poses, although, as I said with his earlier, at the beginning of the review, his arms are or elbows are his weakest point of articulation. Okay, so let's go into size comparisons. I feel like that wants to go closer. Just doesn't want to go any closer in. So let's stand him up straight. Okay, so grabbing a tape measure. He stands 6 3/4 inches tall. Grabbing the bats. As you can see, he fits really nicely with these. As I said in my Firefly video, I have the Arkham Origins Batman en route, so I'll try and do a comparison once I have all of them. And here's another size comparison. Here's Bane. Bane's so heavy that when he fell, he took everyone with him. And just grabbing Croc quickly, because I didn't have him on my previous video, but I figured try and keep these Origin guys together. But yeah, Crocs, even if I go up, there you go. So really well in scale with the rest of the Origin figures. Now, let's go over his articulation. When I got this guy, his head was actually not on correctly and it just popped straight off. And I tried forcing it on best I could and it would not go. So I had to actually heat this up and to get it on. So now that I do, I can see that there is it's a double ball. So you get one ball in the neck and one ball in the head. So you get a little bit of a pivot like that. And a little bit of a pivot like that. But then you can also angle it down a bit more there, or you can angle it up quite a considerable bit there as well. So quite a great range there. You've got a full 360 degree around, like I said, just slightly rubbing on the back of on his collar. Shoulders on ball cuts, on ball joints, sorry. So they can go up that far. This one a bit higher because obviously this one's got bullets, so unless you kind of get them under. And they can also rotate around 360 degrees. Now, he can rotate around at the elbow 360 degrees, and they can also bend there. That's as far as it bends. But then, as per usual, the further you go round, the further it extends because of the cut of the joint. For me, I'm not happy with that. I would much prefer a single bend, maybe a double bend and a bicep cut. Even if it would be a straight, flat cut, and I may end up altering that. Moving on, he has full 360 degrees wrist rotations, and he has pivot from there to there. Now this is my second kind of minor gripe. He has an upper diaphragm joint, and you can get a little bit, and I mean a little bit, from side to side, and then you can rotate around 360 degrees there, and very little forward and very little back. To me, I think if you're going to add a diaphragm joint, you should have gone the whole 9 yards and made it a lot more, made more motion to it, because it's effectively giving him 2 waist cuts. And really, what's the point of that? It's not needed. This is a simple flat cut though, there's no pivot or anything there. So this one you get a little bit of pivot. T-cut hips, so he can do a Spartan of that. Now his hips going out are very tight. It's just forward and back very loose. That's his split. I feel like it might want to go a bit further, but it is that lovely translucent plastic which we all love so much within DC Collectables. He has thigh cuts above the knee, 360 degrees there, and he has a double bend in the knees. Again, you've done a double bend in the knee, why couldn't you have done a double in the elbow? Come on. There you go. And then he has a boot cut, full 360 degrees, and he has an ankle point. Now these are also really tight. From there to there, and then you can ankle pivot from there to there. Now like I said, when I'm trying to be careful of this, but when Toy Review TV, he was just like blah 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 blah, like, oh, it can bend this way, it can do that. He was really quite vigorous with it, and I think that might be why these have become so loose. I could be mistaken, it could have been like that out of the shop, out of the factory, out of the packaging, don't know, because I didn't get it new. But like I said, I got this guy at a steal price. Ironically, just as I got this guy, a friend of mine was selling his, and I was like, were you just waiting for me to buy all of these? And he sold all of his Arkham baddies. It's typical. But yeah, you know, the articulation is definitely one of the better in DC Collectables, and you can get him in some really great poses. Really am happy to have him as a character. I do think I'm going to have to maybe alter some kind of articulation in those elbows. Just not happy with that. Short that though, really good figure, and I definitely recommend this guy. Something I wanted to add, by the way, is he doesn't come with any alternative hands, and these fists, although they are very cool, it would have been so much nicer if he actually had some gun hands, so at least then you could get him hold some alternative weapons. But the fact that we're stuck with these fists is it's just a bit disappointing if you ask me. I'd love to get this guy holding a sniper rifle. I think that would be really, really cool. Although, I think in Arkham they are kind of trying to say that he snipes with these little things. And I don't care how great your marksman you are, you would not be able to snipe someone with such a small gun. So, you know, prove me wrong. But generally I'm saying that I just don't think that these are acceptable enough. I definitely want to put some different hands on him and then see if I can do something alternative. But anyway, like I said, just wanted to add that little side note. I've also got another custom idea in mind, is I kind of want to give him some pistols. And I've got some laying around which would be perfect, so I might have to attach them. We shall see. I will keep you guys posted if I do. But anyway guys, not much more else I can really say about this guy. Great little figure, definitely worth picking up, and you can probably find him pretty cheap these days. So anyway, that's my review. As per usual, please leave any comments below. Please subscribe, and yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.